It's Wednesday, November 7th, 2012. I'm Rim.
I am the Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight, Area 88, the Blue Skies of Betrayal.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's do this. The original, not that great OAV, not the even worse, boring, recent anime. Relatively recent. I think it's like 5 or 6 years old at this point. Maybe more. So, yesterday, I went to Starbucks, and I bought a peppermint mocha.
Okay.
I also, because I did not get breakfast, bought a banana. And I put the banana in my pocket because
How much do they sell a banana for at Starbucks?
like $1.
Why don't you buy one from the street guy who's like 50 cents or 25 cents?
There's no street guy open when I get to my office, anywhere near my office.
You can get fruits all near my office.
Also, I don't have to walk anywhere. The subway stop's like right there. But anyway, I bought a banana.
Okay.
Put it in my pocket.
Overpriced Starbucks banana.
My hands was full, so I put it in my pocket of my leather jacket, and I went into work, and I forgot I had the banana. I realized today, I'm sitting at work, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I buy a banana? And I reach in my pocket, it's not there.
Are you sure you didn't drop the banana out the pocket?
If you look at those pockets, there's a flap, and they're really deep. There was also a Moleskine and my wallet in the same pocket. I still
Are you sure you didn't eat the banana and forgot you ate the banana?
Food is very important to me in my life. The odds of me forgetting that I ate anything, pretty low.
Are you sure that you were like, did you look when you put the banana in the pocket or just sort of feel you put the banana in the pocket? Because you might have felt like you were putting the banana in the pocket, but actually just dropped it on the ground.
So I've done that before with other things. In fact, I had a pair of jeans where the left pocket, if you put anything in, it immediately fell into my pant leg. So, no, I am sure because not only did I lift the flap and like put it in and then think, what if I crushed this banana against my Moleskine? Oh, don't worry, I won't forget the banana's there.
Are you sure you didn't do some sort of, move to avert that situation and forgot the move you made?
There's only so many pockets and I went back to, so basically I had this moment of, there's a banana on the loose. That is a dangerous situation. Okay. So I checked every pocket, no banana. I looked around my desk at work, no banana. I went into the closet at work and looked around, no banana. I didn't see a banana at any point, so now...
You were pickpocketed of the banana?
I thought about that, but my wallet was in the same pocket, and I still had that.
Really shitty pickpocket or really hungry?
So, there's a banana on the loose, so I implore you Geeknights listeners, if any of you find my banana, I would like you to let me know.
It's in your pants.
Because if you find my banana, it means that you are a goddamn stalker, and I really need to know your name so I can tell the police.
Also, you can find the banana easily. Just look for the fruit flies. Also...
See, that's what I want to avoid. I don't want to find fruit flies, because then I will find the banana
also
a bit too late.
Banana, goddamn.
I don't think anyone who listens to this show will understand what you were referencing.
Oh, fine. Ring.
I think everyone was
banana phone.
waiting. In fact, I bet that until this second, at least one listener thought you were very poorly referencing that.
Nope.
So it's Wednesday. Now, what do you got for me?
So, the other day, right, we were discussing what to do the show on about today.
Now, we talked about...
Yeah, so Monday night, after the Monday show, we're like, what should we do on the Wednesday show?
And I was like, well, Scott, you had me reread Gotham Central, so let's do the show on that.
Well, I had you read it. I was supposed to reread it. But
I had read the first one before, but I didn't read the rest for some reason.
I have not reread it, so we cannot do a show on it.
I can't in any way blame you because I've been the person causing the, I didn't read it yet, more times.
Also, I'm playing NS2. You can't, come on. Right.
So we were like, all right, let's do what we did before. Let's get some anime and watch it. And rather than rely
Just like we did on the last Wednesday episode about One Piece.
Rather than rely on the, BitTorrent or, wait a minute, are you sure this thing's only an hour long? I have a bunch of DVDs like Ayane's High Kick, Silent Service.
Great.
Elf Princess Rain.
So anyway, Rim suggests some Tenchi Muyo OAV. So I joked...
Well, no. I suggested the Tenchi Muyo movies. Now, the problem is, Tenchi Muyo movie number 1, actually really good, not an hour long. Tenchi movie 2, actually an hour long, involves incest.
Okay.
So we had to pick something else. So we talked about Tenchi
It's an
for
El
a bit.
Hazard situation, but isn't that the same guy?
So Scott suggested maybe.
Jokingly, because he was already suggesting all these Tenchi things, I jokingly suggested Tenchi Muyo GXP,
Now,
which, if you don't know, we have talked about it in the distant
it's
past.
terrible.
It's awful. We watched this at an anime club when it was brand fucking new. We watched like 4 episodes, I think. I only watched 1.
I walked out after the first episode because I
This
was running the
show
club at that point.
is the worst show with the best opening song of any show ever.
Like, for example-
I'm not saying it has the best opening song of any anime ever. I'm saying the goodness of the opening song compared to the shittiness of the show is the largest gap.
Now, to put that into perspective, Dot Hack, Sign, and Noir have really good opening songs
They
and are
do.
pretty bad shows. The disparity here is greater.
Yeah, basically because the
Primarily because of how bad
right.
GXP is.
The
It's
opening
almost as bad
song,
as Photon.
it's like the opening song is pretty good. Like do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Na-na.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
God, I
Right?
love that song so much.
It's a good song, but the show is so shitty.
Seriously,
it's
I am
the
talking
worst.
Photon bad.
Definitely ready to have smack your mama. Right?
So here's the deal. It's bad, right? But it's bad in like this extra way. So if you haven't seen any other Tenchi Muyo and you watch this, it's just this terrible fucking anime.
If you have seen Tenchi Muyo, it's even worse.
Because you're watching thinking, all right, it's Tenchi, so it must take place in the Tenchi universe. I think once, like, one of the real Tenchi characters flies by in the background. And you're like, that is literally the best thing that's happened in this show.
So my surprise.
Scott, is this better or worse than Photon, in your opinion?
I didn't see Photon. So I went to. I've only seen Photon on the DVD
All right,
rack.
listeners,
That's the extent
I
of me
want to
seeing
know
Photon.
what is worse. Watch an episode of Photon and an episode of Tenchi Muyo
Does
GXP.
Photon even have episodes? Isn't it just one disc? I've only ever seen one disc on the
I've
shelf.
only ever seen
in
the trailer
Media
of
Play.
it, and I knew better.
I saw it in Media Play. It was one disc.
Photon's below that line. Like I always say, the second worst movie ever made is, the worst movie ever made is Clifford with Martin Short playing a 10-year-old boy. Because below that, there are worse movies that I knew better than to watch. I knew better than to watch
So,
Photon.
Tenchi Muyo GXP, imagine my surprise. I go to look for news for this show, this morning, and I noticed that on November 3rd this year, only 4 days before this recording, Cartoon Network has announced they're going to have Tenchi Muyo GXP added to their Adult Swim lineup.
What? Really?
Here's the schedule.
Did we cause that through some sort of like reverse synchronicity?
Here's the Adult Swim schedule: midnight Bleach, midnight and a half Tenchi Muyo GXP, 1 a.m. Samurai 7, Thundercats at 1:30, Symbionic Titan at 2, Eureka 7 2:30, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at 3 and 3:30, Cowboy Bebop at 4 and 4:30,
So,
Inuyasha at 5 and 5:30.
here's the problem with why anime is not doing so well in the mainstream media
Because that's the
markets.
fucking lineup, and the only shows in there that
No.
are halfway good are being
Even
only have
then.
26 episodes, and they're rotating through them 100 times.
Because that lineup isn't right after school.
That's also true. It's at fucking midnight.
Yeah, why is there even TV on at that time anymore? Anyone who's up that late nowadays knows how to use the internet.
It says the Adult Swim Toonami block at midnight is showing Tenchi Muyo GXP as the second show. No one's
I
gonna.
like how
No
it
one's
shows-
gonna. If some new anime fan happens to have insomnia and can't go to sleep and ends up on Cartoon Network, they're not gonna make it to Cowboy Bebop, guys.
Yeah, 4 a.m. If you are awake at 4 a.m., something has gone horribly wrong in your life.
Or maybe you're just one of those people with a really early job and you watch it like in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah, but if you're up and awake and have a half hour to kill watching an entire episode of anime, something's going.
Maybe
either,
you wake up and you eat your breakfast like at 4:30 with the second Cowboy Bebop episode. That'd be not bad. Time to go to work.
I've been watching Cowboy Bebop again. That wouldn't be so bad. So if you're up at 3 in the morning and you're watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
It's an up all night party.
I actually haven't seen Eureka 7, and Thundercats is shit.
I find it funny they have Samurai 7. Wait a minute, Thundercats. Well, wait, is this the new Thundercats or?
Do you really think it's the old Thundercats? Do you really think that?
Oh, I thought it was the old one.
No.
Okay.
The
never
new
mind.
Thundercats looks great. If you watch the new Thundercats with no sound and no subtitles, it's pretty great.
But anyway, they have Samurai 7 and Eureka 7. They need to add in Blue Sub 6. Anyway, do you have any sort of news?
So, since we brought up Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Muyo, it's interesting how when I was like a huge fan of anime. I mean, I've been a fan of anime since
In the 90s.
since I was in 4th grade.
In the 90s.
Yeah, when
Tenchi Muyo was a big deal in the U.S. I don't know how big a deal it was in Japan. I assume it was at least a moderate deal. But that's based on nothing.
When I was in 4th grade and I saw Vampire Hunter D because my mom forced me to, I became a huge fan of anime. But when I got involved in anime culture, which did not happen until long after that, because I saw anime before I had access to the internet. So when I finally got on the internet and discovered there was this whole anime culture and like anime conventions and all this bullshit, Tenchi Muyo among anime fans was the biggest goddamn thing ever.
Well, I mean, here's how it went, right? It's like you could watch Sailor Moon and stuff like that on syndicated local TV, but once you got Cartoon Network,
you could drop You could drop $40 to get one subtitled VHS tape of the Tenchi Muyo OAV with 2 episodes from Suncoast Video.
If you went to the local comic shop and they had the tiny shelf that had like 20 VHS tapes on it, 18 of them were Ranma half and 2 of them were Tenchi Muyo. And no. Oh, there was also 3 of them were Dragon Ball Z.
Now, if you were a little more connected, you go to Suncoast Video, and they had Slayers.
We didn't have one of those.
They had subtitled anime, which you guys might not remember. Back then, subtitled anime cost an extra $10 to $15.
Yeah. But anyway, those are the 3 shows. Tenchi Muyo was one of them, so of course it was big at the time.
In fact,
it's pretty much disappeared. Can you even remember seeing a Tenchi cosplayer at any convention recently?
Oh my God, no. But yet, I remember Noticon 2002, I saw a girl who was dressed up as Ryoko, and I thought she was super cute, and I didn't flirt with her, and I don't remember why.
Okay.
And back then, they were all my age. It wasn't like now.
So continue with your news.
So, my news is a Geek Bite.
Oh, it's not a news.
If you are a more recent fan of anime and you there's harem shows. Actually, I don't think anyone even really remembers Love Hina anymore.
I remember it existed. I watched the whole thing.
I know, I didn't because I knew better.
Cute Turtles is the only good part.
Yeah, everybody gets one harem show. If you're gonna watch a harem show.
You know why I watched that show? Because I was home from RIT. My internet was 56K dial-up modem.
Scott,
I had already downloaded all of it while I was at RIT. I had already watched everything that I had already downloaded, and I'm sitting at home in the summer sort of in between stuff.
So when it comes to anime, everybody doesn't just get one of a different genre. You have a Yahtzee sheet. You've got, like, harem show. But independently of that, you've got the show you watch when you don't have internet, which I guess can't happen anymore, and all you've got is something on a hard drive.
That's right.
My show like that was Read or Die TV. Okay. I watched all of Read or Die TV.
Oh, right, living in the woods.
Because I didn't have internet. I was living on the mountain.
So you did Read or Die TV, I did Love Hina TV.
Yes. So Love Hina fills for you either your harem show or your there is nothing else to do show.
I think I've seen some other harem shows, so I'll put that
El
in
Hazard.
the nothing else to do show.
El Hazard.
Does that count as a
That's
harem?
That's a harem show.
All right.
But it's also a robot show, kind of.
Well, how about Maho Tsukaitai? Is that a harem show?
No. That is a wacky anime 90s comedy, in my opinion.
All right.
Anyway, so if you're gonna watch a harem show, you should watch Tenchi Muyo. But it's hard to watch Tenchi Muyo because there's an OAV that's actually really good. There's another OAV that's a sequel to that, not as good. There's another OAV that's garbage. There's a TV show that's garbage, a TV show that's more garbage, a TV show that's even more garbage, a TV show you shouldn't watch, and then Tenchi Muyo GXP.
Are you saying you just said there were 4 TV series. Each one was more garbage than the last.
Yeah, every one is worse.
But only the 4th one you shouldn't watch. So you should watch the first 3 garbage ones.
I'll put it this way.
The 4th one.
It's kind of like how if you like Initial D, okay, watch season 1. You're done. If you're a goddamn maniac, you watch the rest of it. If you watch the Tenchi, if you get into Tenchi, you're gonna watch it all. I'm going to give you all some advice. Stop before Tenchi in Tokyo. You might think, but Rim, I really like it. Shouldn't I? No. Do not watch Tenchi in Tokyo.
If you like, they like those 3, which were garbage. If they like garbage, shouldn't they like?
In my opinion, Tenchi consists of the first movie and the first OAV, and everything else is literally just trying to reclaim nostalgia for those first two things.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen a harem show, haven't seen these kind of 90s-y anime, and you don't know where to start...
You want to know something about Tenchi, which was somewhat moderately important during a time period in American anime history?
In fact, I would say that this is one of those anime you should see. If you call yourself an anime fan, you should watch the Tenchi Muyo movie, Tenchi in Love. It is the first movie. It is 90 minutes long, well animated, big budget. It's a good movie. There aren't that many anime movies, especially ones that break the formula. This is a movie for a show that has its own continuity, affects the plot, kills people. It's good. So watch that. That is my Geek Bite. I don't want to say anything else. You don't need to know anything about Tenchi because I watched the Tenchi movie on the Sci-Fi Channel, and all I could think was, why the hell can that one girl fly? Does she have a tail? And I couldn't quite tell if she had a tail or not. I was really fascinated by this.
I don't need to say anything to that.
It's a different time, you understand. 1992 or 93. But anyway, things of the day. What do you got for me, Scott?
I went through my YouTube likes, and I found the first thing that I thought would be okay, and it's been a little dry recently. So here we go. Girl football player is fast and fun to watch. It is some girl. She looks like she's in elementary, middle school age, maybe late elementary, early middle. And she plays pee-wee football in whatever her town is. And she totally kicks ass and gets like 35 fucking touchdowns. And the video is like all fast forwarded, so it looks like everyone's running really fast. They're obviously running slower than that, but she's fast anyway because no one can fucking catch her, right? She gets the ball, she runs all the way down the field like a pro, and it's pretty awesome. You know, I mean, I've never seen pee-wee football, anyone this good at pee-wee football. Usually pee-wee football is like a bunch of kids move a ball and then fall on each other in a big heap, and then someone like, you know, peels them off each other, and it's just like it might as well be vibrating table football, right? Whereas, you know, this, because this girl is in play and she seems to actually know what the fuck is going on, and B, she's able to run really fast, it actually turns into something resembling real football, and it's cool.
So we talked about how we didn't go to the New York Comic Con because there's basically nothing to see there for us anymore.
No reason to physically go, especially to spend money and time to go there.
The last thing that most people have, you know, if you discount all the things that aren't there anymore at cons like this, the one thing you can go there for is to see stuff that no one else has seen before that's being announced and is brand new.
Yep,
like, if you're waiting for a new show to come out, you'll see, like, the highlights, review, preview, something.
They do this at San Diego Comic-Con and also at New York Comic-Con.
Like, oh my God, here's 6 minutes of the new My Little Pony episode that's coming out.
Pretty much the only two places they do it is they'll be like, all right, we've got a new movie coming out. You're the first people in the whole world to see this 10-minute clip from this movie that's coming out. Or this trailer for this movie we literally just announced 30 seconds ago. You're the first people in the world to see
So
it.
yeah, guess what? If you wait like an hour... it's all on YouTube.
Someone had a fan cam and put it on YouTube.
So, I'm a fan of Venture Brothers, and I've become more and more of a fan as time has gone on. It's a great show. It's actually one of my favorite cartoon TV shows there's been in recent memory. If you were a fan of it, you were waiting for Season 5, not only is it coming, which we've known for a while, there is a sizzle reel from New York Comic Con 2012. 5 minutes and 17 seconds of spoilers.
Something I've learned from sizzle reels is that when you see them, you don't need to see the show because it's pretty much all the good parts, right? And it comes...
but a properly done sizzle reel, and this one does it well. If you watch this and you've never seen Venture Brothers, it makes no goddamn sense. But you can pay attention to certain things happen, and people react to them very differently. Like, a dude shows up in a butterfly costume, and people are like, eh. And then some other dude shows up in a similar costume, and the crowd's like, oh my God!
Right.
But this one does a very good job of, if you've seen Venture Brothers, it's just everything you see is a really, oh my God, I got to know what that's all about moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually what happens is it's like the guys who make trailers, they're always torn, right? It's like they don't want to give everything away in the trailer. They know that. But the problem is, okay, so we won't put the best good stuff in the trailer. We'll put the medium stuff. So now the trailer isn't so good because like, especially if it's a comedy, right? It's like, what do you want me to do? Put the unfunny jokes in the trailer? No, you got to put the funny jokes in there so that people think the movie's going to be funny. And then, of course, they see the trailer, they hear all the funny jokes, they watch the movie, and the only times they laugh are the same jokes that were in the trailer they've already heard, and then the movie's not funny because those are the only funny jokes.
So the proper way to do a sizzle reel is to show things that are tantalizing, especially in this case. It's a show that already had 4 seasons. The only people watching this sizzle reel are people who have seen them. Show them just enough stuff to hint at the kinds of things that will happen and the crazy plot points like, oh my God, so-and-so is still alive and some bullshit's gonna happen, or why is that guy a centaur now? And don't actually give enough context to figure out what actually happened. Don't show an entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
So just show the basically fanboy fodder.
All right, that's Things of the Day. Meta Moment time. The book club book is
The Name of the Wind
by
Patrick Roth.
Fuss.
You know what? Pretty good book.
Read it. It's a book club book.
I mean, Lock Glamour is better, but you should read it because I read it and I started reading the second book, which is the best.
Already?
Yeah.
I have it, but I haven't started reading it.
I was
yet.
on the subway for like an hour. I had to do something.
Okay.
I already listened to Dave and Joel.
What other meta moments do we have? You should.
We're going to be at MagFest. It's coming up in a few months, actually, right after New Year's.
January.
We are going to be doing Beyond Candyland, I guess, Reborn.
Yeah, this isn't necessary. It's so far away.
And we're going to be on probably 2 Gaming Intellectuals panels that I cannot announce yet.
All you need to know is that if you don't go to MagFest and you're anywhere even remotely geographically close to MagFest, and you're listening to this podcast right now, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm a warming up my raw.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Also, we are all over the internets. I assume
Twitter,
you have
YouTube.
You have an internet connection because you're listening to this. You have to have one. You should use that internet connection to interact with us via many different internet protocols, such as email, newsletter, web, Twitter, IRC, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. Whatever the thing it is that you use on the internet, iTunes, RSS, you should connect to us in the way of your choosing.
You should also follow me at Shazar on Twitter for reasons that you can find out by asking other Geeknights listeners.
Okay.
I will win that thing.
You could follow me,
and then
also.
they will see the thing that I promise they can see if a certain condition is met by the end of the year.
Boats. Let's do the show about Area 88.
The Blue Skies of... You stopped.
That's all we needed.
Of Betrayal.
So, did you know that there's a Super Nintendo game based on this called UN Squadron?
Actually, I heard there's a Super Nintendo game based on this called UN Squadron.
Really? Did you know there's a Super Nintendo game based on this anime and manga called UN Squadron?
So more importantly, there's this movie called Snatch. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's an inside joke.
Oh. Okay.
So, here's some context. Back in the day,
in the day, Monday, we needed to figure out what to do a show on. We couldn't come up with anything. Today, we were like, we need to watch an anime real quick. The only DVD we had that had an anime that was only an hour long instead of 2 hours long was Area 88. So we watched it, and now we're doing a show on it.
I want to do a little more context, because I have seen this before.
Whoa!
So...
I knew of it before.
When I was 8.5 years old.
I was only 8.5 years old.
And my little brother was 6 years old.
Okay.
My parents forced me and my little brother to watch Vampire Hunter D.
I have an eyeball in mouth and
I was born in
hands.
1982, so you can figure out when that was. So, not too long after that, as in about 5 minutes after that, I was a hardcore anime fan. And I went to Blockbuster Video, which existed back then, wasn't full of ghosts. And I proceeded to rent every single anime that was on the shelf there, except for Neon Genesis Evangelion, because as a little kid, I thought it was some Christian anime, and I didn't want to see anything like that.
Good job.
I was an atheist.
Good job.
If only I'd known.
Good job.
I swear to God.
Good job.
So,
when I went to the RT Anime Club, I looked at the VHS tapes they had there, and Evangelion was the one that had the nicest boxes and had a name and felt like it was a significant show.
I just saw all these crosses. It was called Evangelion.
So that was the first one I went for.
Of a wimpy kid like sitting in a chair crying, and someone's talking to him. I knew what that was going to be about.
Sure you did.
So after I'd already watched like Harmageddon and I don't know, Wind of Amnesia. And
named Amnesia.
Not even Demon City. I don't think I'd even seen that yet. Project A-ko, all that business.
Wicked City?
I hadn't seen Wicked City yet. I saw Wicked City later, but still probably earlier
Project
than I should
Echo.
have. Dragon Pink
Project-
and Dragon Half. Some point in that sojourn, I rented a VHS tape that simply said Area 88, The Blue Skies of Betrayal. And when I looked at that box, I remember thinking, wait a minute, that looks a lot like UN Squadron.
It is.
So I looked at
UN
the back of the box,
Squadron.
I'm like, this is UN Squadron. Why the fuck is this called Area 88?
I don't know if we can emphasize enough. This thing is fucking UN Squadron.
Yeah. I was a big fan of UN Squadron. Fuck
It's
that
actually
game.
a fucking good game, but fuck it.
It's a really good shmup, but it's hard as balls.
Fuck it like the weather outside.
Fuck it like the windrammer that it is.
That's right.
So
As it fucks.
I watched this one episode, and I was obsessed with it because it does all the things that Initial D does, except it's not like Initial D. It's more like it's more like I don't know, One Piece
Yeah.
or Bleach.
If I was still a high school, middle school kid, this would have been the best anime I'm gonna get.
It's Initial D of fighter jets.
Sort of.
But you've got to earn money. The dude has to earn money.
Just like the video game.
1.5 million, I guess, dollars. Maybe it was yen.
It was something.
1.5 million somethings by piloting fighter jets and being paid to shoot down other fighter jets in what apparently is an endless war with unlimited fighter jets in a place that is vaguely Arabic, but not in Africa.
With a war that has no context.
A war where there's just a bunch of tanks in the desert, a bunch of fighter jets destroy them, and they get paid like $500 a tank.
Yep.
And there's
Just
dude.
like in the video game, you shoot things and money pops out, just like in Raiden or, any of those shmups.
When I was a little kid, I thought this was the best thing ever, and it didn't go anywhere.
Well, here's the thing: is this is only episode fucking 1. There's 3 episodes in this OAV, and we've
You
only
might
seen the
think we're
first
talking.
one.
There is another Area 8. It is a terrible recent TV show.
Okay,
Just
so according to Wikipedia, there's a long ass manga that's 20-something volumes.
never read it.
There's a 3-episode OAV of which we are only discussing episode 1.
I've only seen one episode. If I saw more episodes,
And
my
there-
tiny brain does not remember
And
it
there
from
is
my
a
youth.
TV series that is actually relatively more recent.
I watched one episode of it, and it was. I watched it, and all I could think was, this feels way bad compared to the original OAV.
So here's something interesting, and the reason we only saw the first episode of OAV.
Yeah, we had a DVD of it.
Okay, so first, CPM put it out on VHS, the whole fucking thing, right? Then, CPM put out only the very first episode on DVD, which is what we have. Then, ADV put out the whole thing on DVD, which we do not have.
What I have is a U.S. Manga Corps complete with their mecha spokesman, MD Geist.
Most dangerous.
And if I open this up, this is the DVD we actually just watched. I don't know when I bought this or how I owned it.
It still
or how
has
much
a
I paid for
CPM
it.
survey card.
It has the CPM survey card, so I want to share this.
I'm pretty sure we got this at the first New York Anime Festival in the CPM going out of business ultra discount fire sale bin.
Ahem. What is our annual household income? And the highest I can say is over 50K.
Okay.
How many pre-recorded video cassettes do you own? What
10?
equipment do you have? There are 6 options. VHS?
Yes.
8mm.
Nope.
Video disc.
Yes.
Satellite dish.
No.
Compact disc.
Yes.
Projection TV.
No.
Where do you purchase or rent your video cassettes? Mail order catalog.
No.
Drugstore.
No.
Department store.
No.
Record store.
No.
Video store.
No.
Toy store.
No. There's no internet option.
There wasn't an internet.
That's right.
The last one here. What factors were important to you when you decided to buy this video cassette? Price, packaging,
Yes. No.
featured actor or actress,
No.
type of program or genre,
Yes.
brand and or reputation,
Yes.
other.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to mail this in, but I know that if I mail this to 250 West 57th Street,
They're not there
Suite
anymore.
317, they are not there.
No.
But no postage necessary, so it will get there.
That's true. All right, so
If I mail it there, whoever's
let's
got
talk
that
about
office
this.
now.
Let's talk about this actual fucking show. So the first episode here, UN Squadron. Here's the deal. There's a guy. He's a badass fighter pilot.
Shin Kazuma.
He's piloting this meaningless fighter pilot in this meaningless war in the desert.
He's pretty, he's got side hair, and he bears his chest on the cover.
He's at Area 88, which is this air, port basically where all the fighter jets take off. There's
It's
some
basically
other
the gas station in Initial D.
Yeah, there are other characters there who are also fighter pilots of various sorts.
The bearded guy who's like, hey, my plane's on fire. Fuck it, let's keep going.
Yeah, but most of those other characters don't really matter. There's a photographer who's sort of, there witnessing what's going on, but he doesn't really matter either. He doesn't do anything.
He's no speed grapher.
Yeah, nothing he does means anything. He's just sort of there.
As far as I can tell, the Area 88 TV show focuses mostly on him.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because, if you did that, it would be sort of like a Marvel situation where you have this sort of, neutral character sort of giving you the viewpoint of the viewer of the show, watching things from the outside perspective.
But no, this one clearly actually just follows Shin Kazuma.
Yeah, the guy with the camera, all he does is bother people. There's some other characters, we barely see them in this first episode, except for, the impetus of why is Shin Kazuma piloting, planes in this meaningless war.
So, when I was a kid, I thought that the plot of why he's doing this was amazing.
Awesome.
It was the best thing ever. Oh my God, fighter jets. So watching it now, his friend wants to stoink his girlfriend.
Yep.
So he gets him drunk.
Yep.
And then holds a piece of paper in front of him and says, sign this. That's it.
He signs it.
That's it.
That is actually a contract to have the guy signed up to go and do the killing.
And fight in the Osron Royal Mercenary Air Force.
Right.
He has to either fight for 3 years, earn $1.5 million, or desert, which I assume they kill you if you desert.
Yeah, well, if they catch you deserting.
Yeah.
In the desert, you're not going to make it.
Now, what's interesting is that he signs this contract, and then these dudes with guns come, and they're like, we're going to shoot you if you don't come. I feel like the contract is unnecessary. I feel like they could have just kidnapped him.
And it's kind of stupid, right?
Bonus points. The guy who shanghaied him basically did it to marry the daughter, and the daughter of this rich guy. And the daughter who loves Shin is like, I'm not going to marry you. I still love Shin because she's actually kind of cool.
Dude, you could marry fucking any girl. Why do you need to Shanghai a dude to marry that girl?
Also, in the preview of the next episode, he's like, she won't marry me because she thinks Shin's still alive but doesn't know. So he tries to hire a hitman to kill Shin while he's still in Area 88.
Why don't you just falsify some evidence that he's dead?
Yeah, or just say how does she even know he's alive? How is killing him going to matter? Why didn't you just kill him in the first place?
None of this shit makes fucking any sense at all.
Oh my God.
It's so contrived.
Maybe the manga tells you more.
Yeah.
Here's something I want to say. When we talked about the Baron Omatsuri, the 6th One Piece movie, we were inspired to do a lecture, which we're gonna do at Anime Boston, about how every anime OAV is the same.
Well, no, every anime movie is the same, but OAVs are not the same. Only these movies.
Well, the Slayer's motion picture is arguably an OAV.
Was it never in theaters?
So if you watch the Slayer's OAVs, they actually have the same. Anyway.
That's true. Those are different.
There are two classes of those standalone anime things.
That's right.
One is the Baron no Matsuri that we're going to talk about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The other is Area 88. But the best example of this is the god-awful Sanctuary OAV. There was an era where there were a ton of OAVs, and all they are is, let's get all the proper nouns from some really popular manga and show just enough of it to where everyone who has read that manga is going to buy this VHS tape or DVD and watch it and go, oh my God, there's the character I like from the manga. Oh my God, there's some foreshadowing for something that will never happen in this OAV.
Exactly. Well, think about it, right? It's like, nowadays you get an anime series like, say, Death Note, right? Take the whole manga, copy the whole damn thing, translate the whole show to anime, right? And put it out on TV. That's what they did there. It's back in the day, they had a lot more money in the anime industry. And it's like, well, here's a somewhat more obscure, not as popular as Dragon Ball Z thing, which is going to get, completely translated into an anime. We don't want to make a whole TV series for Area 88. So let's sort of squish it down and make an OAV, and super fans will buy it and pay a lot of money for it. And we only have to produce like 3 episodes. Let's just, copy as much of the plot as we can and squish it in here. Like the Sanctuary one was like it's basically volumes 1 and 2 of Sanctuary animated poorly, and that's it. And they just don't bother continuing with the rest of the manga. And it's pretty much like, hey, super fans, we animated some of your obscure thing. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So, granted, we've only seen OAV 1, but, you're not going to convince me that if I watch episodes 2 and 3 of the OAV, that is going to contain everything that happened in 25 volumes of manga.
This OAV is notable, 1, because of UN Squadron.
Yes, the video game.
2, it has some pretty dangerous music. Good God. 3, the characters have this ridiculous foley. Like when he takes off his helmet, there's like this shushunk noise. It's almost as ridiculous as an escaflowne when every sword apparently it consists of nothing but a million rattly pieces of metal. It's just everything they do has these like ridiculous noises to the point that I couldn't stop laughing the entire time.
And how many people can crash land fighter jets on the runway without getting hurt at all?
This is basically someone crash lands a fighter jet behind you, the movie.
Nothing is realistic or making sense, or they're not even trying.
So this was directed by a man named Hisayuki Toriumi.
Okay, I never heard of him.
I'd never heard of him, so I did a little bit of research, meaning I looked at Anime News Network.
Okay.
And the only thing he has directed that I have ever even heard of
Besides Area 88.
is fucking Lily C.A.T.
I never heard of Lily C.A.T.
Really? You've never seen Lily C.A.T?
What is Lily C.A.T?
It's a terrible anime.
No kidding.
It's
What's it about?
A genetic... I don't even know.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here's a plot summary.
Okay.
So this plot summary doesn't jive with anything I remember other than that there's so a crew travels across the universe in a ship that can travel for 20 years with the crew that will only age 1 year. Suddenly, some of the crew members come down with some sort of virus. With no help from the outside world, they survive the viral attack for a year.
Okay.
It's basically an alien knockoff or an aliens knockoff.
With the
depending
cat
how you look
girl?
at it. There's no cat girl.
Then why is it called Lily C.A.T?
CAT is an acronym.
What does it stand for?
Fuck if I remember.
Cryogenic something time.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Really bad?
It's got one of those Carl Masak dubs, but
Crappy anime TV show, Cat.
Hisayuki Toriumi not only directed it, but apparently wrote the story.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, whoa Nelly there.
Way to go, dude.
Not the script, but he wrote the screenplay, or the original story, and then he directed it, but the script was written by some other guy.
So, I don't know how long we want to go with this.
This has got that really good sort of like 90s animation of tanks rotating, like machines rotating in 3 dimensions that takes a long time to do in cell animation.
Yeah, it has a certain nostalgic feel to it from anime from that time.
Oh my god, it feels so late 80s. Like,
Right.
oh my god.
But it's really, I'm not looking for episodes 2 and 3.
You only watch this if you're a hardcore anime fan and you want to see something that is very typical of an era. And that era is between 1985 and 1992.
Yeah, so, don't watch this really.
So, Scott, how far is it to paradise?
That's a good question. But yeah, it's just as far as your SNES controller where you can play a game worth playing.
This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geeknights is not one, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.